Welcome to our today's do-it-yourself topic, why we feel the regret, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment and reasons which generates guilt and regrets within us. For real validation to this topic, please focus only on the content. Kindly ignore my lacunas in pronunciation, tone, expressions, accent, grammar, my looks and even this video's background. For the content of this video, please ask how to stop feeling guilty and ashamed, and how not to give a damn about insignificant and low or no priority things. In our today's social media driven society, many people's complete acceptance at face value of the posts of others showing how their life is so stunningly rocking and exciting and beautiful, and by that reference how mine sucks has created a whole generation of people with FOMO, the fear of missing out, and other harmful and disempowering emotional insecurities. This phenomena has also made people believe that experiencing negative emotions and feelings like anxiety, fear, guilt, anger, shame, fear, etc., is not okay at all. Irrespective of who you are and how well you are doing professionally, socially, financially, and otherwise, chances are that you would have gone through multiple instances where you would have felt feelings of guilt, shame, regrets, embarrassment, uneasy, uncomfortable, painful emotions and feeling. For most of us, these feeling happens in temporary, small phases, and they fade on their own, or we move on. And even in those cases where the incidents have significant impact, emotionally mature people are able to feel, face, grow above and overcome these unresourceful states to go on and living their lives. Whereas for many people, some of the instances and subsequently triggered feelings become their lifelong tormentor and create psychological and emotional issues which needs expert professional help. In this video, we will understand the psychology behind our guilt, shame, regret and self-blame and learn the ways to deal with them in more effective and healthier manner. We need to understand that our life is so full of many small as well as big events, events and incidences. These are our stories of life, and there is a cause, consequence and cost of each of our stories. Then everything that we choose to do or not to do in our lives do have relevant consequences and costs. But the problem becomes critical when we sweat the small stuff by becoming a major in minor. This will not be evident when we are going through a particular phase in life, but later when you look back after a few months or years at those incidents that made you feel bad about yourself, and you will find those places where you give lot importance, they don't matter at all. Now let us go through 16 causes why we feel the regrets, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment. First, the current economic, political, social and religious climate have conditioned us to be obsessively focused on unrealistically positive expectations of being better, smarter, faster, richer, sexier, more popular, hourglass fit figure, a nicer job, a flashy car, a prettier girlfriend, handsome boyfriend, etc. All these better stuff that we have subconsciously bought in is actually fixated on what we lack and on our perceived personal shortcomings, lacunas and weaknesses. Because of these feelings of inadequacies and not being good enough and not having enough, we focus on making more and more money or try to become fairer and fairer or to be more admired and so on. That is, our focus becomes on things which are meaningless but sounds very powerfully attractive to us. Our most damaging belief, the live happily ever after concept, is a big cause of feeling guilty, especially when we see others having it through their projections or through their posts. This positive theory talks in terms of permanence. That means once you have achieved something, your life will always be like that. Does it happen? I have never found it. And I have never seen it happening to anybody else. How we react impulsively instead of responding while dealing with any difficult person or when going through any big disappointment or facing a tough situation, crisis, setbacks, or any adversity, which is not only disempowering but also gives rise to big guilt, big way. Our impulsive reaction is a guilt causing. We overreact and we compare ourselves with others based on their social media posts. We blow things out of proportions. We get anxious about confronting a difficult situation or a difficult person. Thinking constantly about this anxiety makes us become more anxious about becoming anxious, and this makes us feel guilty, inadequate, and ashamed. It puts us in a vicious cycle as we feel guilty for feeling guilty, and we get angry about getting angry, and thereby making us even madder. Because we are immobilized by low payoff issues, we lose sight of our big picture, and thereby we live our lives as in perpetual big emergency. This focus on the negatives many times manages to annoy people who could assist us in reaching to our goals. Often, we are busy dealing with one drama after another, our own internal circus. We are unable to recognize that the way we perceive a situation and not the situation themselves has got a lot to do with most of our pains. We are unable to just let go of past mistakes. For us, failures, mistakes, and hurt becomes the permanent part of our life. We hold it on continuously, even when those causes are long gone. And these impact our future, present, as well as others who are depending on us or who are attached with us. Now, there are 26 profound reasons which generate guilt, regret, and also are the basics of happiness, success, accomplishment, and relationships, if done or perceived or thought in the correct way. First, our desire for more positive experience is in itself a negative mindset, whereas accepting negative experiences leads to positive experiences. The more desperately we want to look sexy, the uglier we may find ourselves to be. The more desperate we want to be happy and loved, the lonelier we may feel. Whenever we start focusing on living the right healthy values, we feel self-proud, not ego, which is the exact antidote to guilt and regret. When we focus our attention on putting efforts and actions and stop thinking about the outcomes, we actually not only do better, but feel great as well. When we fail while experimenting to solve a problem, we move forward with the understanding on what are essential to be successful. When we start accepting our insecurities, we feel more confident. When we accept and state our vulnerabilities, we feel more in control and feel empowered. The pain demolishing our ego by taking initiative to resolve conflicts creates a more meaningful and sustainable trust, respect, and closeness in our relationships. Facing our fears and anxieties and taking actions towards our goals is what allows us to build courage and perseverance. When we try to hide, avoid, and attempt to escape the negatives and live in denial, it increases our insecurities and almost always gives negative outcomes. The avoidance of suffering is a suffering. The avoidance of struggle itself is a struggle. Hiding what is shameful makes us internally ashamed, which is very, very dangerous. The denial of failure leads to bigger failures. We can't avoid feeling negative, but the real trick of dealing with our negative emotion is to accept, feel, and express them in a healthy manner and channelize that energy to constructive actions. Anger is not a bad thing. It is just a signal like fever. And when we recognize why we are angry and take actions, it creates more powerful us, more powerful you. Having problems in life and proactively solving problems is a recipe for generating grand success, growth, and happiness. Not caring about and being indifferent and passive is bad, but we need to choose our struggles and fight as per the right priorities. Rejections are painful, but if you can work out the solution, it would definitely bring big success later. Almost all the globally acclaimed successful people were rejected multiple times. Suffering sucks and may not be meaningful in some cases and avoidable. But our pain teaches us what to pay attention to. It is not always beneficial to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Experiencing and feeling emotional pain is healthy for our future growth. We may all want a life that is problem free and full of everlasting happiness. But seriously, happiness comes only when we are solving challenges effectively. Most of us are pretty average at most things we do. Even many celebrities are often at total loss in common things and as clueless about life as the people who look up at them. Rare people who are truly exceptional at something become so because they're obsessed with living their lives in spite of their challenging handicaps. People who become great at something become great because they solve problems that solve many other people's bigger problems.